Okay, this is going to be Stream of Consciousness, Session 1. For the video, that will be how to day trade in 2024. So, the purpose of the video is, I think, at least from the back end, I'm announcing that I'll be live streaming this account that I'm introducing, which is an account that is taking a very low risk, methodical approach to making ends meet with trading. So what that looks like is I've drafted basically a calendar with each month for the year of 2024 targeting a specific bill and a specific bill that you want to cover. Obviously, each month represents a bill that you need to cover to make ends meet. So I've picked, essentially what would be, like a $60,000 a year salary for a single man for basic expenses. Which even I think one of those months includes about 20% of your paycheck going to savings. So it's aggressive savings, and you can replace that either with more bills, expenses, entertainment if you're a degenerate. But the point being is that's what you're trying to replace. If you're trying to day trade for a living, you have to replace your current income. And so I don't know if I want to bring that up in this video, the fact that while you're learning how to day trade, to not quit your day job. That's the thing that makes ends meet. It's the thing that prevents you from going or approaching the market in a way that will guarantee that you remain unprofitable. So that's one aspect of it. Anyway, that's the account that I will be trading. It's very slow. It's very boring. But as I will prove in the video, that by the end of it, no matter what prop firm account you use, even if you start with only $1,000 of your own funds, which isn't as much as people think it is, especially when they've devoted a whole year to losing challenges, that even with as small as $1,000, if you take it slow, if you control your leverage, and trade your model, which you should have already proven to have an edge in one way or another through back testing, through forward testing, that by the end of it, not only will you have proven to yourself that you can trade up to a size and make a profit that is over and above your current salary, your current day job, but you've also ended with an account balance of $26,000 in profit. Even if you take it slow and control your leverage the whole way, that is where you end up with. And so, for the people humming and hawing, oh man, you're telling me that I can only make $50 this first month and then stop trading? It'd be like a joke the ICT used to always say. And people, snub their nose at profits. You're telling me if I come to your front door at the end of this year and say, hey, here's $26,000, you're going to slam the door in my face and say, hey, fuck you. Get out of here with your $26,000. That, to me, is just the funniest thing ever. Yeah, that's exactly what we do. We're trying to rush this process of learning how to day trade. And so that brought me to earlier today to the analogy of a first-year medical student studying to be a surgeon, or a recent Air Force graduate on his way to becoming a fighter pilot. That on day one, you're not gonna hop in a plane and dodge missiles, become an ace. In fact, you probably won't even touch an airplane for a year? Who knows? You're gonna spend a lot of classroom time. You're gonna spend a lot of time in the simulator. And even then, once you've learned all the knowledge, the first thing you're going to do when you get in that plane is you're going to take off, do a loop, and then land. and that's it. And then you'll do that a couple dozen times, and then maybe you'll go up and do 2 loops. Maybe you'll go up, do a loop, do a barrel roll, and then land. The point being, I don't know why. I don't know why we expect overnight success. I don't know why, when we are obviously approaching this topic of day trading for a living, where there's the allure to being your own boss, setting your own hours, answering to no one, making a lot of money, the freedom to do this anywhere. I mean, I could pick up a laptop and have internet access and be anywhere in the world virtually and make my income for the month or the year even, and to eventually grow the capital so much that it could passively do that and you don't even have to do anything. So the allure is there. Why do we expect it to be overnight? I mean, just in any field, in any skill, I mean, everything takes years before you're at least proficient enough to be on your own, let alone making the kind of money that we expect to make at the end of it. And so, which, brings me to one of the first threats, I think, that I wanted to address in this video, the threats to, our consistent profitability and being able to make this a living. Are these, flash in the pan trading gurus and influencers on social media, flashing their lifestyle, Lambos, smoking cigars with Rolexes in Dubai. There's probably a good lot of them that are well-meaning and do provide a value or a service to aspiring day traders. But it's obvious that even from the best of them, that it's flashy, it's cheap, and it sells, and we buy it. And maybe it's because we're just blind to the fact that for the good ones, it's taken them years to get to where they've been, or to where they're at now. It's taken years to achieve the proxy of success for whatever you want to replace it with. All right, one man's Lambo is my down payment on a house. I think that's probably the proper way to view that if you want to assess the skill or the value that someone is giving to you. Is yes, there is an ability to make money here. There is an ability to make ends meet if you want it, if you submit yourself to the time. But that's the thing that is just not clear. And if it's clear, we refuse to believe it. We refuse to submit to time, giving ourselves enough grace to learn the thing that will actually change our lives. So I think it's a detriment to your progress to be devoted to too much influence from social media. So to not even give it. Get your value, get your education, get the things that will help sharpen your skill, and then get out. This leads to the second threat, which is, I don't know if I'll call them predatory prop firms, since I'm a user of one and want to be affiliated with them. But the problem of prop firms or funded account companies seemingly providing a solution to the problem of funding, that we're working our day jobs and looking for day trading as an opportunity because we don't have funds. But you can't trade funds you don't have. So these funding companies, they offer you 50K, 100K, 150K accounts, multiple accounts, all this money, 6 figures, 7 figures in funding, offer a small fee. Prove you can trade, pass our challenge, you get access to capital, and you can pull out, provided you follow their rules and don't hit the drawdown limit. And the problem is that their motives are against you. They want you to lose. And even the ones that are profitable, that I can't imagine being more than a percent of all the total customers for these firms. Even the ones that are profitable, pulling out withdrawals, they're free advertisement. They're free advertisement to suckers like us who, once again, see all the money they're making, neglect to see the time, effort, and skill they have in being able to trade with that kind of leverage. And we're stuck here just blowing up account after account, giving them our money, because that's who's paying for their payouts. It's us. Prop firms get the money, the 1% of traders who are successful get the money, and we are left without funding and less money in our bank. And so must have a clear eye as to what is actually offered to us in a funded account. That when a company, from the future side of things, we'll take an example from, when a company offers us a $150,000 account, that we do not actually have $150,000, but that we only actually have the drawdown, which is $4,500, which, you know, is still a pretty good leverage for your money's worth. And most of these $150,000 accounts cost, you know, anywhere from $150 to $300 for the challenge. You know, maybe an activation fee, data fees, whatever. But that's still 15 to 30 times, you know, the leverage of your dollar. But that's only if you pass one account the first time. Every account you blow chips away at that leverage that you think you're getting. Every account. You lose 10 accounts, your leverage goes from, you know, 30 to 3. And you're still not profitable, and you're still left without an account. And how they get you to keep blowing your account is the other problem. It's that they say you have $150,000 and give you access to leverage as if it were $150,000. Even then, probably more than you should if you had a full $150,000 to lose. You say, well, you know, if I risk 1% on a $150,000 account, that's only, you know, $1,500. Okay. Well, that's 33% of your allowable drawdown. You have a bad win streak, risking only 1%. You're out of your account in 3 trades. And that's if you don't move your stuff, risking quote unquote 1% on a $150,000 account. So you will blow your account easily trading with that kind of leverage. And so on these $150,000 accounts, you are given access to be able to trade up to 15 contracts. Now, if you just do your math, and you put on a trade in NQ for 15 contracts, and NQ is $20 a point, 10 points at $20 a point is 2,000 at 15 contracts, at 3,000. An NQ going full bore, 15 contracts, you got 15 points before you blow the whole account. That's it. And in NQ, 15 points happens in 30-second candles, pretty much. So it's very obvious that these prop firms don't actually care about the risk they are putting themselves in when they give you an account. Because the math is that you will 99% likely blow your account over and over and over before you become a profitable trader. And you will either give up or keep giving them money if you trade like that. The solution has to be A, you fund yourself with the little money you have, because that's real money, it's your money, and you can control the risk there. Or you understand the risk of the prop firm that you're employing, and you use them properly. Use them as a tool. You don't base your risk on the size of the so-called size of the account, but on the actual drawdown that is available to you. And so you may think, oh well, a $150K account, 1% of $4,500 is $45. You're telling me I can only risk $45? Maybe. you're not profitable now, so why shouldn't you? Because if you were to actually do that, and you were still figuring out your system, still learning how to trade, still refining your model, you can lose 100 trades in a row before you lose that account. 100. And you're telling me that you have a model that doesn't get you anywhere closer to being profitable before 100 lost trades? So let me suggest how I would do it, which will then bring us to what I'm proposing with this ENDS account. So I got this idea from ICT on a beautiful little 4-part series that he did towards the end of the 2022 mentorship, I believe, or in the middle. I can't remember actually, because the video dates are corrected. It sounds like it came in August. I can't remember if he was doing the 2022 mentorship throughout the year or not. Double check, doesn't matter. Either way, he came out with a series called ENDS, which talked about making ends meet through trading. And the way that he presented it was like I said earlier, in that, just pick one bill. Pick one bill that you want to cover. And in his scenario, he chose to cover food expenses. Which for the case of his son, I think was the case study. It was $1,000 bucks a month. $1,000 a month for all groceries and food, entertainment, whatever. Pick one and just secure that. And take a couple months just hitting that goal, and then after that, add another bill, add your car note or your insurance or whatever. And that if you're, still wanting to, flip an account to flip a separate account, this is an account that's just meant to make ends meet, and you slowly build it up until it replaces your income, and then doubles your income, to where he says, an account where once you've secured an account with $100,000 of your own money, not in prop firm, that he thinks you can be able to day trade for a living. But the point is that you're just focusing on making ends meet, and he keeps them, even the model is just very simple. So obviously using the 2022 model, that if you were trading ES, you would only be looking for 5.25 points with a 4-point stop loss. So just over, I think it's 1.25 reward to risk. So the point being is you're just getting comfortable, and you're just looking for that one trade a week, because that would give you $250 a week and $1,000 a month. And then from there, you would look for 2 trades a week, to then 2 trades a day, to so on and so forth. And then you can, scale up. You make it personal to you at that point, which is what I think I'm doing with my account. Because my approach, the way that I want to approach the risk in these accounts is, from what I heard from, I think the channel was E-Mini Maverick. I need to watch that video again. But he risks, one micro contract per $500 of drawdown, or $500 in capital. Which, I think it's a good sweet spot. Because if you were to trade one micro in ES, so MES, you would need to have a move go 100 points against you to lose that $500, which you're just not going to do in a day, at least not if you're smart and have a stop loss, which is another rule, and I think it needs to be implemented in this, so you cannot trade without a stop loss. Okay, anyway, but the point is, the way you approach this is either you fund yourself with at least $1,000 of your own capital in a discount broker like AMP Futures or TradeStation or even Trade of 8. So they'll give you at least 2 micro contracts to use, but this is beside the point. I think you would need at least $1,500 to ideally like $2,500 in like an actual brokerage account like Thinkorswim or Tasty to get that intraday day trading. Now that would give you access to more micros, but their leverage or margin required for futures contracts is actually more in line with the actual risk you are taking. So almost be, it would force you to limit the amount of contracts you can use, which might be a proper thing to do if you don't have the discipline, which is something I'm looking into. But regardless, So you approach your account by what I'm suggesting is you're going to add, you're going to list 11 bills, because your 12th bill is going to be doubling your bills. You're going to list out 11 bills that make up all of your expenses. So group them however you want. You're going to sort them from the smallest bill to the greatest bill. And they're going to represent a month of trading. So like for me in this account, I'm not looking at it, but the first one is $50. My gym membership, right? I think it's essential for me, for my health. I think it should be essential for everyone else. Again, they're going to pick their own bills, but what I'm suggesting, at least, I think is good if they want to use it. But it represents something that you actually need and want. Something that you actually value, that is an expense that you want to cover to make ends meet. I think the gym is one of them, regardless. $50. And that's it. That is your profit goal for the month. Once you hit $50, you stop trading. You don't trade more. You don't try to get ahead. You are just trying to hit $50. If trying to figure out if you want to trade more, to either devote it to tape trading, to demo trading, or to trading a new challenge. Right? That's obviously for people that have the money to fund a new challenge. But I wouldn't suggest that, even though it's my advice. That would be what I would be permissible to at least scratch the itch of wanting to keep trading. But this account isn't for that. This account is meant to make ends meet. And so once you have met your end, you are finished with trading for that month. And you can stay involved in the market by tape trading and demo trading. Then the next month, you will meet the end for that first month and add a bill for February. So your profit target increases, and then you will trade until your account balance reaches the bill from last month and the 2 bills for this month. And once you've hit that target, you have met your ends and you stop trading, and so on and so forth until you get to the 11th month, November, and you're now trading to meet your ends at 100%. And in the last month, you will seek to make double. Now, I might be a little heavy at the end, especially if you've gotten that far and you've been so profitable. So it's at least a goal. You're going to try to meet your ends and see if you can increase it by double. And maybe you make that a goal for the following year, is to slowly increase the comfortability at which you can meet your ends month after month. But that's just at least an easy goal to target for the month. But that's it. And as I said before, at the end of that month, or end of that year, end of this year, you should have an account ending balance of over $26,000. If you accumulate, each month adding a bill and then doubling in the final month, you should have $26,000, which is a great bonus. It's a good amount of starting capital to fund your own personal account. It's good funding if you want to build a prop firm empire to purchase challenges to increase your leverage while reducing your risk. Whatever it is for you, that's going to be the reward for deleveraging, controlling your risk, controlling your emotions, controlling your trading, so that you can actually become a consistently profitable trader. And I think that's it. I think this is the account that I want to trade, to prove to myself that I can be a consistently profitable trader, that I can help someone else in avoiding the same pitfalls that we have all fell into. Give myself that starting capital that I want to be able to support and fund my family. And, that's what I'm going to commit to this year. Every trade that I take in that account will be live streamed so that everyone can witness. And that for when the account goes into profit for the month and hits the target, that my live streams will just be tape trading and demo trading, answering questions about other people and their journey. And I think, one of the supplements I would give is, if for whatever reason a year is just too slow for you, or you want a challenge, or you want to trade an account alongside it that follows the same roadmap, the same risk, but does it in a quarter of the time. And so you just switch your monthly targets to weekly targets, right? So the first week you're only making $50 and then stopping, and then so on and so forth, which I think that's pretty fun. And so I think that's what I'm going to do, since I have 2 150K accounts, and then I have a third combine in the works right now, which will be good to scratch itches and secure, full funding with Top Step. Now there's going to be the issue at some point, if I am meeting my targets, that these accounts will be, consistently profitable and will be flagged by Top Step to move to a properly live account, which is a good problem to have, since you have, made it into the 1%. But then, are my accounts going to be merged? Can I start new accounts? Those are probably questions I need to have answered before I bring it up. Maybe not even bring it up at all. But I think for me, and maybe this is what I'll state, is that once I hit the $10,000 threshold, which is where I can receive 100% of my profits through Top Step before they start taking their 10% cut, then I will pull the $10,000 out, put that into a proper brokerage, and then continue the challenge from there. And that the Top Step accounts will just be used to trade alongside to continue to grow and compound. Which I think I like. Because again, for me, it's not my keys, not my crypto. Not your keys, not your profits. I think the goal is to keep it in your own personal brokerage account that you can trade, that you can control when you receive your payouts, how much you can put in, put out, control your risk, minutely, trade other things. I mean, so for me, it's, I've proven myself over the last year to be a profitable options trader, selling premium, using ICT concepts to speculate a little bit while selling options. So you have a brokerage account where you can employ your resting capital as your day trading. That, well, now you're really compounding your profits, and you take all the weight off of having to be profitable with just your day trading, and that you're spreading your risk even more through diversifying of strategies. So that's the end goal for me, where I can have, brokerage account, or accounts plural, where I'm in long-term buy and hold, do very simple option strategies of, selling puts, writing covered calls, more dynamic intermediate term trading of selling strangles, put ratio spreads, speculative calls and puts, and then my short-term day trading. That to me, I think, is the holy grail of what I want my trading to look like. One that I think will grow our wealth and sustain us. So that's the end goal. And I'm interested in how this is going to turn out. Interested in live streaming to see if I can attract any attention. See if psychologically I can even put up with it. But I think if I can define my rules, define my model a bit better, keep it simple. I'm only going to be trading, the expansion of the weekly profile, at least aiming to do so. And which only gives me, at most 3 days to trade during the week. And since at the very beginning, it shouldn't take too many days to hit a $50 profit target, that I'll kind of ease into it, do some tape reading if there's an audience, and we'll leave it at that. But until then, I think I've said everything I want to say for this stream of consciousness. I think this is really beneficial, way more than I thought it was going to be. And hopefully I can transcribe it. Will I be able to use this audio to just pull out into text? Sure fucking hope so. Anyway, I think I'm going to end it there. Let my brain sizzle a bit.